Well, one of the things I did notice is that, listen, Godwin, for what it's worth, only scored 2 touchdowns last year. And if you just look at where he was getting his targets last year, he should have had roughly 3 more touchdowns. But today's show, we're going to break down the top 150, the latest updates in my rankings right now on Razzball.com right before training camp. So let's kind of get into it. Obviously, if you've been checking it, I probably pretty much tweet out updates every single day, breaking down what's changed. And kind of one of the guys I want to talk about first is Chris Godwin. Now, I'm going to preface the whole statement here. This show is not about buys and sells. It's essentially, when I started doing more research, a guy's moved up and down, but based on ADP, he might be going exactly where he is, So I want to talk about Chris Godwin. I actually changed his rank from 91 to 77. So it's a 14 spot update, basically a little over a round on Chris Godwin. Now, if you look at ADP and compare it to Razzball ADP, which you also could find on Razzball.com, on that right now, I'm about 1 spot lower than ADP. So why did I make the change? Well, one of the things I did notice is that, listen, Godwin, for what it's worth, only scored 2 touchdowns last year. And if you just look at where he was getting his targets last year, he should have had roughly 3 more touchdowns. And so that's another fantasy point, essentially, in a 17-game season. So he was already going wide receiver 37. So if you just give him an extra point, now he's pushing mid-range wide receiver 3. Now, I still only have him at wide receiver 35, mostly because I do think that Baker Mayfield is this year's Geno Smith. And what I mean by that is still very good for fantasy, not a bad quarterback at all. He's going to be able to support players, but I do expect Baker not to play as well as he did last year. But I still like Godwin. I actually like him at ADP. I'm actually not higher or lower than him, so unfortunately I have the Switzerland argument for this one. But I did move him up 14 spots, mostly because I do think there is some positive touchdown regression, so I do like where he's going currently for fantasy football. That's all we got today. This is some of the rankings updates, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. This was really good. This is like kind of the latest updates. And make sure you go to Razzball.com, click on the NFL tab, or just go straight to football.razzball.com and go check out the top 150 PPR rankings. Also go check out all the great positional rankings we have for quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. And by the way, make sure you jump over to the fantasy football data tab. By the way, we have the slot versus wide tool coming out, but we have 2023 data in there right now. If you don't know what the slot versus wide tool is, it is fantastic. It tells you where the fantasy points are allowed by defense in the slot versus out wide. We're going to have more detailed splits, home and road, wins and losses. These are going to be great tools to help you win your fantasy leagues. And by the way, Razzball 6 is finally kicked off. If you haven't signed up yet, go to football.razzball.com and click on the signups tab, and you'll be able to sign up for the Razzball 6. It's a lot of fun. It's free. You get to compete against other big names in the industry. It's open for everyone. And finally, go check out the Dynasty tab. We have a Dynasty 2024 tab. We have Dynasty Trade Chart, by the way. We have rated over 400 players and picks. Dynasty Trade Chart. Go check it out. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. We have the Dynasty Rookie Rankings, and we also have a Dynasty Top 200. So redraft, if you're doing a startup, if you're already in a league, or if you need rookie rankings, we have it all on Razzball.com. Once again, thank you for joining. Make sure you subscribe to the Razzball Fantasy YouTube channel. Make sure you jump over to IG and TikTok. And, of course, make sure you go over to Razzball.com. Thank you for joining us once again. I'm Bobby Lamarco. Go follow me at Bobby Lamarco on Twitter. I'm out of here, folks.